Now, do you have any quirks with your rituals with writing?
Yes, I have. I kept my law office. I started writing full time in 1996 and stopped practicing after 25 years. But I go to my law office. I'm there 7:30 every morning. First, I have to get a grande non-fat caramel latte at the Nordstrom Coffee Bar. I live in Portland, Oregon, by the way, so that's okay. So then I have to do the New York Times crossword puzzle, and then I have to check my emails and look on my website and psychotically check my Amazon ratings for how my books are selling. Then I can write. And if I don't, like they closed the coffee bar to renovate it, and I was a mess for an entire week, so I couldn't get my lattes. So I do have psychotic, really sick, twisted ritual that I have to go through every morning before I can do anything.
Yeah, for you to really
Yep,
focus.
yep.
Now, what advice can you give to an aspiring writer?
You know, the best thing, there's one piece of advice. I get a lot of people that come and say, I had a great idea for a story, blah, blah, blah. Don't think about it, write the story. I mean, what the most important part of a writer's anatomy isn't the brain where you get all the ideas, your hands where you type, it's your butt. So my experience meeting tons of writers now ever since I got published is the guys that get published are the ones that sit on their butt and actually do the writing. And then the other thing is you got to learn to deal with rejection. If you're going to be a writer, you're going to have people telling you all the time, agents are going to say your book's no good. Editors say that we're not publishing this because it stinks. You got to deal with that. My first 2 books that I wrote were hideously awful. They were really, really bad. And I also had one of my bestsellers that got turned into a movie. It was on the Times list for 6 weeks, rejected 6 times before someone bought it, and then turned down for paperback. I mean, it's a whole bunch of things go on. You got to be able to say, okay, I'm this, and you also have to say, maybe my book's not very good. So when you're starting out, writing is a learned talent like tennis or piano. And when you start out playing tennis, you probably stink. You're probably not very. Serena Williams probably could have been beaten by any mediocre junior high school tennis player the first time she picked up a racket. But you practice, you get better, you learn your craft, and then hopefully at some point you'll get to the point where you catch on and you write a book that's publishable. But only, and this is the last thing, because I have never write to get published, and never write for money, because it's very difficult to get published, and even if you do, most people don't make much money at it. You should write because you're really having a lot of fun. It's really an enjoyable way to take up your time. Think of it as a hobby, and then if you get lucky and your book is publishable, then you can make a choice. Do I want to be a full-time writer? Do I want to get a day job where you can feed yourself, put a roof over your head, and then write as a hobby? And then if you get fortunate enough to, break in, then that's cool, and then you can make decisions.
That's really great advice.
Thank you.
What's your website?
Oh, www.phillipmargolin with 2 L's, phillipmargolin.com, so Margolin. And I'm a techno dinosaur. I don't even have a cell phone usually. But I have a Facebook page now. My son-in-law, everyone was yelling at me I had to have Facebook. So now I actually have a Facebook page, and you can get in contact with me on that, too.
That's great. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you for interviewing me.